So I was just thinking, and and a particular couple came to my mind, and I actually get it. At this point, I had a realization about this whole Prince Harry and Meghan Markle thing. I really get it now. If you look at this from a outside point of view, it seems to me like Prince Harry, you know, um, what he's saying is pretty spot on. Because at this point, what I think we all have to realize is that Prince Harry, I don't. So I don't want to say that he's her puppet, because that does come across rude, don't you think? That if a woman is a little bit, you know, we all have to come that Prince Harry is now basically living for his family, his new family. Not the British royal family, his family. I came to the epiphany, you know what I'm saying? I came to this epiphany, and if the video is a little bit choppy, guys, I apologize, because I just left the store. I did a little bit of plaza is so huge that I think that my point back. So I was doing some research, right? Because I might really study how people get married for. It can kind of lead you in, dating and the troubles they have. And then I was looking at thing about how hard it is to date nowadays, and what's going on. So even this reading I did in this couple, I said they were going to be, skipping events. Back in my other readings, I was saying how, things were going to change. It's not surprising. I don't think it's surprising what's, I've come to his life, or the man that bolsters her daughter. You see what I'm saying? Like Prince, in reality, Harry. Not going to get into it, not because that's up to the British public. The British public can decide or not. I'm actually just opening up this to put on this spot. I think man, how things change, naturally things change. Now I totally understand, you know, on a more real level what he's. We all know that Harry is totally. I mean, he is infatuated with her. I think that man would take an absolute. And whether he wanted this life or not, what we all have to realize, what I now realize, is that he's living for Meghan. I'm sorry, life or the Queen is no longer making happy. Prince Harry, the monarch. That's not Harry anymore. Of course, king and sort of princess, they have certain roles. They naturally have certain roles. Country they serve, their offspring, their wife, or their husband will want to fall in the same footsteps. And I think what people is that Harry has chosen to not do that, marry an outsider. He's not married the typical English rose. He sure his deep down would have thought he would be with, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and someone who was the complete opposite, um, Kate Middleton. So going in, I actually think that as time real seeing two people who you've watched my channel before. I'm a dual son of America and England. I was born and raised in England. I have no accent for majority of my life now. I went back in February to visit. I think especially for me, all the stories you hear, all the stories you hear, Diana and Queen Elizabeth and Prince, and all the stories you hear, and it's easy to think that Harry would not same way feeling to finally wake up to, gonna certain celebrity couples based upon place. If he didn't self-proclaim feminist, Meg that loves to be independent, to be more so team players and kind of be in the background. Like Catherine, Catherine blends in. Catherine, mother at heart. She comes across as very dainty and very feminine. And I think in a lot of ways Meghan is not like that. Meghan wants to be a jack of all trades. Not like Catherine. She's not a stay the traditional role of a woman. She's not. She wants to be out in the forefront. Politics. A British royal with history. This is not the traditional way British prince would marry. It's just not. So I think that, based upon what I'm seeing, direction that Harry and Meghan are going in, I think it only makes sense. This is going to sound, just a little bit lame, but I'm just going to say it anyway because I think that this is just the way I'm feel what I'm about to say. Then say with that is what I think will be a little bit to some people is like, you know what? This is what I think, right? This is what I really think now. On all the readings I've done, all things I've seen, the media, Meghan's interviews, based upon everything I've seen this year, right? If Harry hates being a royal so much, if Harry is angry at the Queen, if Harry is so turned off by the British royal family, then they should not have titles. I know to some people because Meghan is black. I mean, she's really biracial, but she's still black. But yeah, because Meghan has melanin, and because Meghan is a historic bride to the British royal family, the British monarch. People say, the other royals didn't work for their title. This common thing I saw on social media was, well, all the other Caucasian royals didn't have to work for their title. This is what I saw on social media. People were saying, well, the rest of the royals didn't have to, prove anything. That's true, but that's also not true because Diana didn't have it on a silver platter. It's true in a historical context, but in a legacy context, in a social media context, in an age of paparazzi, that's not true, because if that was the case, Diana would have not been hounded. If that was the case, Diana would have not been killed. Historically they got it through bad means, right? The royal families stole land, raped and pillaged. That's in the historical context, that's correct. But in terms of individuality and to the public, that's incorrect. they did have something to prove. Diana did have something to prove. So I see it like that, where historically I get what they're saying. Well, why should Meghan have to prove that she needs to be? I agree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, they all prove something. They all have to conduct themselves in a certain way. Catherine and William, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, they both have to conduct themselves in a certain way to the public. Like, for example, if Catherine is not pregnant every couple of years, right, people slaughter her. If Catherine is not super skinny and super bubbly and always looking 100% well, people love to say, oh, she's lazy, or she doesn't look good, or, there's always something. People, if they're public figures, especially on that level, they're always going to get criticized. So what people on social media was saying in terms of the whole title thing that I'm getting into, because this is, I think, an important component as to the perspective that I'm seeing now with the whole situation. Yes, in a historical context, of course, people have stole things and killed and war and all types of things to get power. That's a no-brainer. But what I think what people are really talking about is the social media factor. People that are fans of Meghan or don't or are not in favor of Meghan and Harry being stripped. What they're trying to say is, well, why does Meghan and Harry have to prove anything? Why can't they just be? Now, that's true, but at the same time, they're still royal. They were still royals. So what I'm simply saying, and this is what has come to realization and fuller view for me as a born British citizen, as a person who grew up in England. My grandmother, my great grandmother. I mean, I have Welsh, I have British, I have Scottish. That's in my blood. And the fact that I was born on British soil, I'm telling you for a fact that this is how I feel. Okay, if Harry does not want to be royal, then give up the title. It's that simple. This is how I feel. This is what I'm seeing now. If they don't want to be a part of the family, if they don't want to answer to the Queen, if they don't want to answer to British citizens, then be free. Be free. But the other side of the coin is that because Rachel, okay, I'm going to say Rachel because her name is Rachel, but because Rachel is Black, or as say biracial, you don't want to take that away. You don't want to, I think people wouldn't want to say, okay, well, let's just take the title off of her. It's not so much about Harry, because Harry was born a royal. Harry was born that. That's what he is. Prince Harry is a son of Princess Diana, the Princess of Wales. That is who he is. But if what Harry is expressing in the way in the way that Harry is behaving, if this is how he really feels, then why would you not want to just give it up? I would. I'm going to be, and I can't, and obviously it's just my opinion. Everything I'm saying is an opinion. But what I'm saying is, be free. Harry and Meghan, be free. You don't have to have titles. You don't have to answer to anybody, but it's going to come at a cost. It's going to come at a price. If you give it up, or if you want to live in America for the rest of your natural life, you can't expect to have the same kind of status. I'm sorry. If you want to be in America, splashing cash, being in movies, you cannot be a royal. I'm sorry. I just don't think it's right. And I'm speaking as a born British woman, a Black woman, and I'm speaking as a woman who's lived in America now for how many plus years. So I've grown up in both environments. I've seen both countries. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't mix. It doesn't compare. Being a celebrity is not the same as being a royal who has to conduct themselves in a certain way. You think that William could go out blasting music, drinking a Starbucks Frappuccino, just talking slang? No. William and Catherine can't have that kind of lifestyle. Oh no. They have to be primped and proper, and they can't just conduct themselves like they're just commoners. They can't, of course not. Ooh. They can't do that. So what I'm saying is, humbly, 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 why should Harry and Meghan have their cake and eat it? That's my question. Take out the race, take out all of that. Why should Harry and Meghan have their cake and eat it? What? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. On top of that, if you're going to be a British royal and keep your title, even though they stepped down, right? If you're going to keep your title, you cannot be in American politics. Meghan is in American politics. British royals of the royal family do not do that. They just don't do it. So what I'm saying is, it's not about people hating Meghan. I am talking about what's fair and what makes sense for this couple, this lovely couple. What would make them happy? What would make them happy is, I think, being celebrities. I'm not being rude. I'm not being unfair. I think it just makes perfect sense. If Harry is not working or doesn't have a job, he's going to have to get one. You know, he's going to have to get one. If Prince Charles or any other royal family member says, we're not going to supply your lifestyle, where's the money going to come from? That's my question. If they didn't have Prince Charles, besides Meghan's piggy bank, where would the money come from? Is the money stolen? Did the money disappear? Where is the money coming from? If William or Charles do not give Harry an X amount of money, how are they going to survive? It's a serious question. How would they survive their lifestyle? Going to Ibiza, going to New York, private jets. How could they afford that if they're not working? So guess what? Meghan's working. Meghan is working. That's what Meghan does. So here's the facts. Here's what I think is the facts that are going to come out eventually. Maybe Harry never wanted to stay in England. Maybe Harry never even wanted to be a part of the family. It's sad, but it's true. You know, either his mind was changed when he met Meghan, or this was something that was embedded in Harry all this time and we never knew it. Maybe all this time we never really understood how angry Harry was at the Queen and about this and everything that happened with his mother. Maybe we just really didn't get it, you know. But I get it now. I think that he doesn't have a choice, because if he didn't do what Meghan said, Meghan would leave. You know, Meghan, I'm sure she would have left, she would have given him a hard time, or they would have been in a very, very rocky part of their marriage. It's just that simple. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being honest. Maybe because of status, maybe because of the status of it all, Meghan wouldn't leave, because people have always said, oh, Meghan's not gonna leave because she needs him. Whatever the case may be, right? It would have not been a happy home. It would have not been if Meghan said to Harry, nope, I don't want to listen to you, it wouldn't have been a happy home. It would have been drama. It would have been complete drama. So in that respect, I think that what Harry was really trying to say is that my wife wants me to do what she wants to do. And if I don't follow her, I'm going to get left behind. That's simple. It's that simple. What Harry wanted to say but couldn't say because it's embarrassing is that if he doesn't go to America, if he doesn't listen to what Meghan wants, if he doesn't give Meghan all the diamonds and the couture that she wants, he's not going to have a wife. And the word on the street is that he couldn't do any better. That's the word. The word on the street is that Harry couldn't get anyone in England. The ladies in England apparently were not convinced that he was marriage material. That's the word on the block. And on top of that, women like Chelsea Davy, other Christina Bones, all these other girls that he dated that were Caucasian, didn't want to marry him, didn't want to be in that lifestyle. So what other choice did he have? It's not like he was going to Africa or any other place to look for. He wasn't going to Canada or Africa or Asia. He wasn't going to any other places abroad for any campaigns or any kind of royal gatherings to look for a wife, as far as we know. I mean, he has a connection to Africa, but it's not like we heard anything about it. We didn't hear any secret ladies in Africa that he, or even Australia, that he was connected to. We only heard about the couple of British women that were in actually in England that he fancied, and you know, it didn't work out. You know, Chelsea Davy, the longest one, I think one of the longest, right? She didn't want the lifestyle. You know, they had a falling out. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it just seemed like, you know, if Harry, you know, if Harry impressed them, impressed upon them and impressed them, they would have married him. You know, I'm sorry to say it, but Chelsea Davy, what happened? You know, what happened? You know, if he gave them the same kind of attention or affection that he gave Meghan, he couldn't have married them. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And then for Harry to go out of his way to marry an American, to really piss off the royal family, is not is he's asking for it. You know, he's asking for it. He's asking for controversy. He's asking for tabloid clicks. They're asking for it because they're not typical. They're not typical. And I'm sorry, it's nothing to do with race. It's just the fact that, okay, forget the race. Forget the race. She's American. He's British. End of story. Any couple, any royal couple that is of two different lines, two different countries, are going to have interest. It's not a negative thing. It's just, okay, she's American. Let's know about her. We want to know where she's from. Like when I first saw them together, I was like, oh, I got to turn on the car, guys. 1 second. Because I'm talking yeah. So like when I first saw them, and I have stuff from the store in the back. So this is gonna be for my car seat. This is gonna be for my mount, but just gonna talk to you guys for a little bit. So it's like when I first saw them as a couple, right? I was like, oh wow, you know, wow, look at what Harry got. I was like, oh, this is interesting. You know, she looks, you know, she looks really nice. I mean, I was like, wow, you know, she's different. You know, she's not like Catherine at all. You know, no, really. When I first, okay, the engagement photo op. That's when I really was like, huh, where did he get her from? And then what was more suspicious about it, suspicious, was that they never could tell us who set them up. I couldn't understand it. A prince needs a blind date. I couldn't understand it. And then on top of that, they were saying, oh, she was an actress. I said, an actress? Well, this is definitely going to cause some problems. Like you know, after a while, I woke up and I was like, wait, so how is this going to work? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't to be negative. It was just like, okay, she's American. Wow. That's different. You know, that's cool. And then we got to know her. We got to know her. And everyone's like, huh, you know, something's a bit off here. You know, beautiful lady, you know, beautiful, gorgeous, you know, no one can deny that. You know, she wasn't an A-list celebrity. She wasn't. People need to stop lying. If she was A-list, I would have known about her. I didn't even know who she was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who she was. But I was happy for her success. I heard she was an actress. I said, wow, I never saw any of her stuff, but she was an actress. So, okay, that's interesting. So it's just the more you unwrap from the, you know, if you go back in your mind and you unwrap everything, you say, wow, you know, Harry really got himself in a twist, because there's no way. I mean, it's sad to say it, but I was hoping, you know, I was hoping that, I think we all were, I mean, at least people that are nice and don't wish anyone bad will. Like, I don't wish them any bad will at all. I mean, I don't, that's not in my heart, you know. What was that service? There was one event where Catherine was pregnant, and Meghan had that cream coat, and Catherine had that beautiful blue navy dress, and they were all together, and it was beautiful. It was one of the many last events they had together, and I remember seeing that. I said, "Oh my God, wouldn't it be so nice if they grow their kids in England together, and Meghan is pregnant in England, and she's this new fresh face, and she's dignified and can give it a different kind of energy." And it was the complete opposite. It was like they didn't want to know, they didn't want to be there. you know um it seemed like Meghan was having a hard time. It seemed like Meghan was having a hard time. And on top of that, she wasn't a fan of the cold. I mean, she's from California, for God's sake, so she wasn't a fan of the weather. So what was she really there for? What was she really able to accomplish there? Not much. So now that I'm looking at the whole, from the beginning to where we are now, right? The update. It's clear that if Harry did not go to America, it may have caused a lot of problems in their marriage. That's a no-brainer. People will say, "Oh, I don't think so." Harry could have told her to stay. Could he? Did Harry have the power to tell her to stay in England? Obviously not, because she was on a quick flight to New York for her baby shower. Meghan did everything in America. If you think about it, Meghan was trying to do everything in America. She didn't care for the country. She didn't care. Let's stop being silly and be real. Meghan didn't want to be in England. She didn't want to be there. And I see it now, and it hurts, because you would think that she'd marry one of our princes and do right. I wanted her to do right. I was hoping that Catherine and her would get along. I'm being honest. This is really what I felt. I was hoping that they would get along, because why not? Why not? Why would you want problems? And then there was story after story of, Meghan and Harry firing royal staff. And then there was another story about Wimbledon and Meghan boxing off her area so no one could even touch her, take a picture of her. All types of crazy stories. In broad daylight. So when you think about it, Meghan didn't like it. Meghan didn't want to be there. But yet she was married into this family to produce an heir for Harry, for them. She was married to Harry to be his wife and him her husband. And she was married to continue continue the British royal family. That's the whole point. If a woman or a man in the royal family is to marry somebody outside, or whatever the case may be, if you call it outsider, commoner, foreigner, whatever you want to call it, the whole purpose is for them to blend into the family and continue the line. That's the whole purpose, because if they don't, they're not going to have power. They're not going to have all that money. So if you think about it, Meghan should have realized that. I mean, maybe she did, but I'm saying in that context, she should have realized that when she married him, it was a huge honor role. I mean, you are a royal member. You are in, you could be in mausoleums, history books, museums, brochures for tourists when they come to the country. You're on the brochure, for God's sake. You're like a god, a goddess. You're in reality we're all equal, but it's like a hierarchy thing where you are like reigning over people, and you have this kind of people see you as higher. It's a fact. I don't, but in the way that society sets it up, it's like they're above, commoners, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So if Meghan really took all that in and researched the family she was marrying into, why would you not make that work? I'm asking a logical question now. If you see all the power, all the money that you have, and you know that that's what comes with marrying a prince, why would you turn around and say, I'm going to go to New York, I'm going to ignore, basically a lot of rules, I'm going to make my own rules, screw this. It makes no sense to me, and like I said, if that was their plan, because I'm trying to understand, if that was their plan, then why do you want titles? Why do you need a title? That's my point. If you don't want to be in the church services and wearing pantyhose and sipping on tea, crumpets and shaking hands, then get out. Give up your title. That's how I see it now. If Harry doesn't want to be a royal, then I got good news for him. He doesn't have to be. You can choose to be a regular guy like everybody else and be a celebrity, go on TV shows, make some cash. Why do you have to be bound to being a royal if you don't want to be a royal? You cannot have your cake and eat it. That's not how this works. And I wouldn't want a royal family to be like that. I would not like a royal family to be a flip-flop, which means, you're trying to be, a social media celebrity, and then you're trying to be, this mysterious royal. I don't like a mysterious royal figure. I don't want a royal family. If we're gonna have one and continue to have one, I don't want a royal family that's trying to be Instagram famous. I don't want a royal family that wants to be like the Kardashian family. I don't want that, and that's what it seems, it seems like we're going in this direction with Harry and Meghan as trying to have a new, Hollywood dynasty or something, not a royal family. And honestly, I think it's better this way. I think that if they're really going to be in America, then they should really consider giving up their title. Not because I want them to, but because if they want to be free, then why would you not want to? Because as long as you have that title or any connection to the British royal family, you're going to be looked in a way where you cannot change the media's mind. You cannot change the public's mind if you're still connected to the royal family. See, if Harry and Meghan were just celebrities, it wouldn't matter. It would matter, but it wouldn't matter after a while because they're like other celebrities. Other celebrities get endorsements. Other celebrities, set up paparazzi shoots and stuff. That's what most celebrities do. They're not royalty. They're celebrities. So they can control their image more. They can, get endorsements. That's what celebrities do. They can pose half naked on Instagram and get paid for it. That's what celebrities do. That is not what royals do. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. You think that Catherine can go on Instagram and pose in a bra and underwear? Or any of these things, or wear cut off jeans down Rodeo Drive, sipping on a Starbucks drink? No, 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 and no, no, and no. Catherine cannot go to Rodeo Drive and act a fool. Who wants that? If we're going to have a royal family, let's have a royal family. Let's not have a Kardashian family. If you want to have a Hollywood dynasty, then be a celebrity. If you want to have British royalty, then be in British, be a British royal, like be that, stay in that, be that, because mixing the two is like a security risk. If Harry and Meghan are both a celebrity and both royal, that's a huge security risk. And not just a security risk, but it makes the royal family invalid. That's the worst part about it. If they were to do that, it makes the royal family look stupid. It makes the royal family look like why do we still have this family? Why do we still have this royal family? Being dominant than most people and having all these palaces. Why do we have that? Society, I'm saying this for the royal family because this is the truth. If the royal family allow that, no one would take them serious. You know, they don't even take them serious now. But if Harry and Meghan continue to do this, it would not, people would not take it seriously. You know, people would not take them seriously. Why? Because they're not, you know, they're not, they would not be royalty at that point. They'd be TV personalities, you know, reality TV star. They would not be royals. You know, there's so many there's so many reasons. Like there's literally so many reasons. There's literally so many reasons, okay? So many. It's not just about security. It's not just about X, Y, and Z. It's a host of things. It's literally a host of reasons as to why. And I'm telling you that if they continue, you know, it would basically make the royal family look like they're a waste of money, a waste of space, you know. And at that point, that would be that would be the destruction of the British royal family. And if the queen wants that, or is trying to be too nice, or, you know, not putting down her foot, that's what she's gonna get. You know, at some point, Meghan and Harry could actually delegitimize the British royal family. And that's just the cold facts about it. That is the cold hard truth, is that they could literally make them look like a waste of space. And who knows what the public would say. The public may say, you know what, Meghan's right. You know, Meghan and Harry are right. You guys have too much power. You guys don't speak for me. You guys this, you guys that. You know, you guys kill Diana. You know, let's get rid of you. That's a possibility. So I'm saying, for Harry's sake and Meghan's sake and their security, that you may want to give it up, because if you don't, the queen may do what she did to Diana. Okay. And you know, we know how that ended. So that's all I got to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Before I get into some, you know, more juicy stuff, but that's really all I want to say, that I feel, you know, led to say about this topic. And so, you know, in that perspective, in that context, Harry is correct. If he did not go to America, it would have been the end of his marriage. And that's why I think he went. And this is why I think we're seeing him now trying to fit into Hollywood. And it doesn't look right. You know, no offense, but it doesn't sound right, doesn't look right. Other British, you know, celebrities in California have even laughed about it, you know, like Cheryl Osborne. People say they want my Cheryl Osborne, but Cheryl Osborne is a British woman, and she is a Hollywood, you know, TV host, actress, all types of things, singer, songwriter, you know, producer. And she said that she chuckled. I mean, she thought it was funny. You know, Cheryl Osborne said that she thinks it's funny that a prince would want to come to Hollywood. It is funny. It's extremely funny. And it's a joke. And that's why I'm saying that, how can Harry and Meghan go about this in a way where they're not embarrassing themselves and they're not embarrassing the family that's giving them money? You know, because Charles is supporting them. So at this point, they have to figure out, you know, you know, how they're going to support themselves. You know, Meghan's work ethic can only take her so far. You know why? Because certain directors and producers in Hollywood, you know, may not take her under their wing. You know, sorry to say it, but the roles that Meghan could have been, how should I say this? Like the roles that Meghan could have wanted to get when she was, you know, 10 years younger, may not be available now, you know. And like I said, on top of that, she's a royal. That's the problem, Meghan. Meghan may not see this, but I see that you see this and I see this. Meghan may not see the fact that she is a royal. She married into one of the biggest and most prestigious and most well-known popular royal families on the planet. She doesn't respect it. She doesn't get it, because if she did, she wouldn't be in Hollywood. You know, get a heater. You know, you hate the cold, get a nice thick jacket. You know, she should have made it work, but she couldn't. She didn't want to. you know? So it's baffling to me, and I'm sure it's baffling to you watching, because you think to yourself, well, she has a child, she's a duchess. What does a duchess want to why would a duchess want to be an actress? um how does that work? And I'm in support. I am totally in support of a woman, living her dreams, of course. Who the hell isn't? But in her case, it's harder for her because she's not just an actress anymore, trying to get ahead. She's in a higher, she's a bigger status, first of all, because she's married to a prince. And it's confusing for me because I don't see how she doesn't see that. It almost feels like Meghan doesn't see that. Meghan doesn't see that she's married to a prince. So she's acting like she's a celebrity, because only a celebrity housewife would behave like they need to work. They need to be in a risque movie. They need to be on the front cover of a magazine. That's not what a princess or a duchess would behave. You don't need to do that, you know? So it's good that Meghan wants to work. It's good that she wants to be an actress, but I don't quite know, right, if she understands that she may not have those same opportunities, you know? And I really believe wholeheartedly that in Meghan's mind, she thinks that she is going to be in all the blockbuster movies, right? I really feel with everything in me that Meghan believes that if she's in Hollywood for another 2 years, another 2 months, the rest of her life with Archie and her husband, maybe another child or whatever, and her team and her PR team, I really believe that Meghan is convinced that she will be bigger than God himself. I really believe that. I think that she believes that she's gonna be like an A-list celebrity, in every movie. Like Kevin Hart status, Brad Pitt status, Angelina Jolie status, Viola Davis, Meryl Streep status. Okay. She thinks she's gonna be at the Golden Globes, front center, front row, and if that's her dream, more power to her. But what she has to understand is that Hollywood does not see it like that. The British public do not see it like that. The British royal monarch does not see it like that. The Queen doesn't see it like that. Her husband doesn't see it like that. Okay. These people around her, I'm sure, have a little bit of common sense to know that the way Hollywood is perceiving her is as a duchess and not as a up and coming model, actress, or singer. She's not like the rest of the girls. And so for Meghan, she should take that in and be happy. She should take that in and say, wow, I don't have to do any risky move. I don't have to do all that grimy stuff to get ahead. I'm a duchess. That's how she should think. But it's the opposite. It's like, oh, I don't want that. I want to be in the movies. I want to be on the blog sites. So, will Meghan have the same kind of acting roles and opportunities? Hell no. Of course she won't. Would she want to? Of course. Will she get it? Maybe, hopefully for her sake. But it's a little naive to think that she's just going to go to Hollywood and everyone's just going to want to book her. It's to me, it's a crazy thought. To me, it's crazy to really think and believe after seeing their royal wedding. After seeing their wedding, to me, it's crazy to believe that this woman, of all things, just wants to be in Hollywood, like Kim Kardashian, having cameras follow them around, strange, for me, the whole Netflix thing, if I see Harry do any kind of reality TV, I'll be very, very bothered. And at that point, I would definitely be in favor of them, not having the titles, because I don't think it's a good look. I just think that at that point, I would not be in favor of them having their titles, because that's disgraceful. At that point, you're damaging history, you're damaging culture, you're damaging what the country gets profit off of. Do you understand that people, does Harry understand? I'm gonna go deeper. Does Harry understand that people travel from far and wide to go to Buckingham Palace? Does he get that? Okay. Does he understand people travel far and wide to go to St. James Park, Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, Piccadilly Circus, Oxford Street, like, Westminster, the London Eye. Does Harry understand that people go to England and spend their hard-earned money to see the British Royals' residences, the museums, the London Museum? Does he understand that he is a part of history? What is he not getting? And then you want your wife to almost erase that, say, scratch that, we're not going to be a part of the family, hop on a jet plane in America, and act like he's not a prince? Because and people may not agree, but what I'm saying is that's how Harry comes across. Harry has told people, don't call me Prince. When he did that speech at that school, Prince Harry said, call me Harry. Prince Harry is going around saying, don't call me a prince. Forget the prince. I'm not a prince. Call me Harry. Okay, so we're going to call you Harry. We're going to call you Harry, and you need to get rid of that title, because you're not in that category anymore. You're not in that range. You're not even supporting your royal family, your royal bloodline. You're not supporting that. So then if you don't like the family you come from, then disregard it, disconnect, change your name, change your title, then get rid of it. Like, if I didn't like being a royal, I wouldn't be a royal. It's just common sense. And that's what I just said was massive. People go on planes I went back to my home country back in February. Do you know how long that flight was? And you land, and people are wanting to see a glimpse of the Queen, a glimpse of a royal, a glimpse of, any royal guard, or Buckingham Palace. Are you kidding me? This is what England is built on. So you cannot say I'm a prince and then want nothing to do with being a prince. You cannot do that. You cannot, like, people pay money. People pay money to see Buckingham Palace. What do you think Buckingham Palace is? A toy shop. It's a palace. It's a royal palace that Harry's family is a part of, owns. And he's saying, forget that. Forget it. Okay, well, if that's how you feel, then give up your title. And if I was to see Diana's son, Prince Harry, Windsor, Mountbatten Windsor, if I was to see Harry on a Netflix special with Meghan, that's it for me. That's it. Like, I cannot consider him a prince, and I would not see him as such. Sorry. Because it's tacky. It's cheap. It's low budget. And it's not anything that a prince would do. Now, people in America No offense. Actually, scratch that. People across the world. It's really America, but people across the world who are massively into celebrities. Because in American culture, we eat shit and breathe celebrities. Most of us, it's in our face 24/7. What Kim Kardashian did, what Cardi B did, what Justin Bieber ate for breakfast. In America, celebrity is a huge industry. The entertainment industry. It's a huge profit. Okay, that's why I said America, but scratch that. I'm going to say the world, right? If the world, okay, wants to embrace this celebrity, lifestyle of Harry and Meghan, then in all actuality, they don't want to be royals, and they should not be royals. And that's just how I feel about it. If I saw Catherine, wanting to dress like Kim Kardashian and, photograph every part of her life, I wouldn't take her seriously. I wouldn't take her seriously. So how does Harry and Meghan expect me or anybody else to take them seriously when they don't even respect the Queen? They don't respect her. They don't respect anything to do with the British public. They don't respect it. They've sued the Daily Mail. They've sued the Sun. They've sued the Mirror UK. They've sued all these British outlets for telling them off, for saying, hey, you're not supposed to do that. And they're angry about it. Harry and Meghan are like, who are you to tell me that I can't be an environmentalist, but go on multiple jet plane trips back and forth, and put all these chemicals in the air, but I'm an environmentalist. No, you cannot do that, and everyone's right, has a right to their opinion. You could watch this video and say, no, Simone, I don't agree. I think that what they're doing is fine. That's fine. What I'm saying is, in terms of the royal family, it's not fine. It's not them as individuals. It's their life, cat calling the kettle black. If they want to say I'm environmentalist and then go preaching about jet planes, that's fine. But I'm saying in terms of being a royal, it's way out of pocket. It doesn't apply at all. And so what I was going to say was, if people around the world want to look at them and encourage them, right? And encourage them to be more like celebrities and royals, it's because they don't know the history, right? Any young person or anybody who is supporting what Meghan and Harry are doing on a celebrity level don't know really about the British royal family. Let's be real. If people who want them to be celebrities, right, either don't like the royal family, don't believe in it, which is a possibility, or, which is the most common, is that they don't want them to be seen as royals. They want to see Meghan and Harry as a regular person, but they're not regular. They can never be, They could never be, So people who are fangirling over Meghan, posting all the time, and they don't get it, It's fine, but they just don't get it. But people who understand, excuse me, let me sneeze. But people, right? People who, could be older or have actually know about history, actually know about Diana's hardships, would understand that this is not going to end well. Lived through Diana being killed, like I did. Then that this is not a good idea. That. But people who are younger, or maybe they're really into social media, who look at this couple and say, yes, leave England, leave, yes, be in Hollywood, they don't get it. They just don't get it. And if they do get it, it's because they don't respect the royal family, right? People who want Meghan to only be in Hollywood and not in England don't respect the royal family. How could they? Because she married into the royal family. I keep saying Harry didn't marry her family. She married his. But yet Harry acts like he took her last name. Harry acts like he married into her family, which is weird to me. You know, if I marry a man, I'm not going to act like he owes me anything. He's my husband. And it's like Harry owes her something. Harry doesn't owe her anything, you know. And the thing is, if Harry had any decency, he would have wanted Meghan and him and himself to be a part of the family, you know. It's just common sense. Why would you want to marry somebody who's against your family, against everything you stand for? And by the looks of it, it seems like Meghan is against certain things that Harry's family stands for, right? The superiority complex, you know, being a royal, being a white royal, it just seems like she doesn't even like it. So then once again the question is, why did she marry him? Why did she marry him? I'm not going to marry into a family that I don't like. You know, I mean, all the white racist relatives that Meghan was talking about, the tabloids were talking about, Meghan knew they existed. Let's not be silly now. If there was any relatives of Harry that were racist against her, that's a no-brainer, right? If I was to date and marry a white man, a Caucasian man, and I ask him, hey, do you have relatives who don't, you know, approve us? I'm not naive, you know, I will get an answer. So something's not right there. You know, if Meghan was having issues with either Catherine or any other of the Yorks, or if she was having issues, right, before they got married, and her friends told her, don't marry him, right? Remember she said in that interview that her friends told her that she shouldn't marry him and she ignored it? You see? So her friends warned her. Her friends warned her and said, don't marry him. You know, the media is going to destroy your life. And she didn't listen. So, you know, who's really to blame here? You know, who is not reading the warning signs? Who here was not taking heed of all the red flags? You know, if you, as a black woman, okay, she's biracial, but still black, right? As a black woman, if you're with a white man, right? I'm just being real now. If you're with a white man and his family is giving you dirty looks and is talking down to you, why would you marry him? You know, you can marry him, but you would have to separate. And that's what's happened. She's separated. They've separated. But why would you want to be a part of a family that doesn't like you? I mean, I know love is, I mean, the love, you know, the love or whatever is there, the attraction, right? But I'm saying long term, right? Let's get real now. Let's get real. If you expect this marriage to last forever and a day until you both drop dead, till death do us part, you're not going to marry into a family that you think is racist. You're not going to do it. You know, I wouldn't do it. An intelligent woman wouldn't do that. She would not marry into a family that she believes is racist or sexist. She wouldn't do that. So it's questionable. Like I said, her friends warned her. Meghan has said in that interview that she did in Australia, which was, I think, a bad look, that the interview that we talked about many years ago, we said that interview was a bad idea, and Meghan still did that to the interview in Australia. No, it was Africa. No, it wasn't Australia. It was Africa. It was even worse. It was in Africa. And she was saying nobody asked her how she felt. Nobody asked her if she was okay. Bad look. Bad look. So why would you, if you see all these red flags from the weather to the family to the tabloids, why would you marry him? Why would you marry him and then expect him to go to America is my question. Unless they discussed this, unless they both talked about this, why would Meghan expect Harry to leave his family to go to America? That's my question, because I would not expect that. Most women out here would not expect their husband to pack up their bags and leave their whole family behind. No one of decency would expect that. You would not expect, you as a husband wouldn't expect that, and you as a wife would not expect that. You would not expect your partner to abandon their family to make you happy. You want to marry somebody who you feel is welcome. You want to marry somebody who you feel can be around your family and crack a joke and not feel stiff and uncomfortable. When you're around family, you want to feel like you're home. You want to feel like you're one accord. You're all together. You want to feel like that. And so for Harry and Meghan to choose to be wed and then not feel like that is a tragedy. I don't care what color you are. Same goes for me. If I was to marry a white man, I'm not going to marry him if I feel like I cannot be comfortable around your family. And you can't be comfortable around my family. And if it's really that serious, then we would have to have a plan. But that's different because we're not royalty. You see what I'm saying? We're not royalty, so we don't have to feel that overwhelming pressure. But they are. They're in the spotlight. So for them, it's 10 times worse. Because they don't have a choice. They have to put on a smile in the photo ops, at the events. They don't have a choice. So for Harry to just marry someone and say, it's not going to be an issue, is naive. It's actually naive on both of their parts. That's the truth. So that's how I see it. Now I get why he's in California, in America, looking crazy and quite desperate. Wherever Meghan goes, he's gonna have to follow like cattle. If Meghan says let's go to Canada, Harry has no choice, or he's not gonna have a wife. Because if Meghan was to really get back into acting, she would have to travel anyway. Sometimes when you're in certain movies, you have to go to Australia, you have to go to Europe. So it's like, if Meghan was really about that life and really like a bona fide actress again in movies and all that, she'd be up and down the place all the time. And Harry would be a stay-at-home dad. What would Harry do? So like cattle. Harry is like just following behind her. And that's his life. That is his life, unless things get better for them, or the royal family tells them to come back, or whatever happens. That's the reality of their relationship, their marriage. And hopefully for their sake it works out. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. It's raining now. I'm really happy about, getting this video out, because, it's a summary. This video is a summary of all the things that I've seen and my raw thoughts about this. And I think that it's time for us to just accept that Harry is just serving Meghan. Harry is here now to serve Meghan. That's all he is. He's not a prince anymore. He's not going to be at any, I'm sure, any British events with Catherine or William. I don't see it happening, unless the Queen calls him back, or if there's a death in the family. He's gonna be, his whole life is gonna be about Meghan, and that's Meghan's gain. Meghan is gonna gain a chaperone, a help, a person who is her cheerleader. And what is Harry gaining? I don't know. I'm not sure. Marriage, you both are supposed to benefit. It's not just the wife, or not just the husband. I think a good marriage, when both people are going to benefit. And I don't really see what Harry's benefiting from, except sex, and children, which is great, but that's about it. In terms of life purpose or career or anything else, that's kind of disappeared now. It's just more so about, what is he involved with Meghan? What is Meghan doing? What is he chaperoning with Meghan about? What event is Meghan going to that Harry's a tag along? He's a +1. He's not a prince. Period. Bye.